Have you had periods in your life where you just can't stop thinking about work in your free time? Having trouble to sleep because your thoughts just keep spinning, constantly thinking about what you need to do tomorrow, and that gut feeling that you just can't get rid of? Then this video is for you. I want to preface this video by saying that if your life looks something like this, then this video is probably not what you need, but you need to take things seriously and go and get some professional help to help you manage your life. And maybe think again if that job really is for you. This video is for people who want to lower their overall stress level in their life and make those chaotic periods and stressful periods a little bit better. And make sure to stick to the end because the last tip is a real game changer. The first thing you can do when you're stressed about work is to cut the line very clear between your work life and your personal life. And the way you do that is that you have a routine that separates work from personal life. And some examples of routines could be going for a walk, exercising, changing clothes from work clothes to casual clothes and then the other way around in the morning, taking a shower and so on. Exercising, meditating and taking a walk also has other health benefits that help you reduce stress. So those are really good recommendations for things that you can try. The routine of separating your personal life from work has been really messed up now when a lot of people have been working from home. Instead of getting in your car, going for a walk, taking your bike ride home, you just close the lid on the computer and expect to magically not think about work anymore. And that is something that you need to make very, very clear, especially if you're working from home, to really make the line clear about when you're working and when you're not working. And this has also been further messed up by us wearing our normal clothes to work and the other way around. You don't get that routine of when you're in your professional you and when you're in your personal you. So make that line clear, otherwise it will feel like you've been working all day even though you haven't. Something that will also help this is to turn off all notifications for incoming emails. Because in my mind, if someone wants you anything urgent, they're gonna text you or they're gonna call you. They are not going to send an urgent email and then not follow up if you don't respond. So that way you won't hear all those incoming irrelevant emails and go and think about oh, what did I miss? What did I miss? And then going and checking your phone and seeing things that you still can't do anything about until tomorrow anyways. And the thing about this is that you're not irresponsible for taking time off and disconnecting from work. It's actually very responsible because if you do that, you will be more productive when you're at work because you've had time to relax and not think about work in your free time. And also remember, your body doesn't automatically know when to relax, so you need to help it with that by taking a walk in nature, having your routine and just actively getting into that relaxed state. The second thing that I think is really interesting when you feel stressed about work is to actually reflect upon, are you stressed or are you nervous? Because even though they can feel very similar, they are quite different. Let me set an example. You have a big presentation tomorrow. You've done everything you can to prepare. Well, I mean, you could go through it one more time, but it probably wouldn't make a difference and you feel very overwhelmed. Well, then that is probably a bit of stress, but mostly it's probably you being nervous. Feeling nervous is a very normal feeling when you're doing things that you haven't done before, like having an onstage presentation, having an important client meeting, negotiating salary with your boss, taking on a new role. All of these things, if you haven't done them before, of course you're gonna feel nervous. And it could be anything, it could be big or small. It all depends on the person and your experiences and a lot of different things. And feeling nervous about those things is the most natural thing in the world. And not being able to let go of that feeling is normal. If you have something big tomorrow that you haven't done before, of course you're gonna spend the evening thinking about it. You can try to distract yourself with other things to help ease the feeling, but of course you're gonna feel nervous and also maybe mix that up with a bit of stress. And you also need to do some things that you feel nervous about because that is a way to grow. So you need to feel okay with doing things that are outside of your comfort zone. Because one day, if you've done them enough times, you're not gonna feel nervous about them anymore. But what is important about this is that you don't do this all the time. if you just keep pushing and pushing and challenging yourself and just doing things that you're nervous about, you're gonna grow a lot, but you're also putting a lot of stress on your body and mind. So make sure to have a healthy balance over time, because periods are gonna be a bit more intense and a little less. But over time, make sure to have that healthy balance of doing things that you're comfortable with and things that you're uncomfortable with. Something that I feel stressed about a lot about work is feeling like I don't have control of what's going to happen tomorrow. Something that keeps my mind spinning is if I have a problem of something I haven't solved and I have a very tight schedule for tomorrow, then my mind is just gonna keep spinning around that problem because I feel like I won't have enough time tomorrow to solve it. So what I've started doing, and I'm trying to keep to doing this every day, is writing all tasks down for what I need to do tomorrow. And not only writing the tasks down, but also the time block in my schedule so that I know approximately what task I'm gonna do at what time, because then I know exactly what I have time for and what I maybe need to tell another person that I'm not gonna have time to do. And this is especially if there's something that I don't know how to solve, or that I just feel stressed about not having read through a material or whatever. I need to have that time in the schedule to know that I have time to do this tomorrow and it will be okay. Because otherwise my mind is just gonna keep on spinning. And also important while doing this, if you're a major time blocker, make sure to leave some breaks in your schedule, because there's always gonna come up things that you need to solve on the spot. And if you don't have time in your schedule to do that, you're just gonna be even more stressed. I read a quite fun Swedish article about the magic pill. So it was a pill that if you took it, you wouldn't be able to think about work, anything at all, until tomorrow morning. So imagine you taking that pill. You would have made sure that you have completed everything you need to do today and you have nothing more to think about until tomorrow. You have everything under control, and then you take the pill and not think about work. Well, try to replace that pill with getting in the car or closing the laptop lid down or whatever. Maybe you need to spend 15 more minutes before you end your day, but those 15 minutes could be the difference between stressing about work all evening or having a very relaxed evening where you don't think about work at all, pretty much. The more you feel you have control over the next day, the less you will think about work today. The next thing, if you're very stressed about work, is a good one. And you will have heard it before, and that is exercising. Exercising is one of the best things you can do for stress, actually, and especially cardio. Working out and putting that stress on your body will actually help you become more stress tolerant in the long run. And the fun thing with exercising is also that when you do exercise, you're going to feel less stressed even that day. So it both have effects the day you do it and in the long term. So people that exercise a lot are generally also more stress tolerant than people who don't. Exercising also helps your mind, your memory becomes better, you forgot less things, you mess less things up. So it will also help you be better at your job. So even if it's something that you need to put in your schedule that you don't have there today, it's worth to prioritize it because it will benefit you in so many ways in the long term. Okay, I'm not gonna keep pushing for exercise because you know this, you just have to realize it, as do I. If you're stressed about work and can't stop thinking about work, a very good thing to have in your free time is to keep a to-do list close. Because it's so easy to keep a to-do list close, to write down all of those things that pops up in your brain that you need to complete another day, or like, I just have to fix this. Because it's so annoying when a task pops up in your brain and you haven't written it down, and you don't have your regular to-do list or anything to like write it down on that you know you're going to remember later. And then you just go and keep thinking and thinking about that thing for hours just to not forget about it. And then your thoughts just keep spinning about all of those other work tasks that you need to do, and it just becomes bad. So my recommendation is to have a digital task list, because that's just the easiest for most of us. And that way you will always have it close, because you can connect it to your personal phone if you have separate phones. And then you will always have that with you. You don't have to look at it, but at least you know it's there when you have to write something down that you need to do. So it should be quick and easy, and then you just let it go. This thing is a very important thing that I've learned from my partner, actually. He's very wise, even though I don't want to admit it. And that is a mindset hack, actually. Sometimes it's fine to go around and think about work, because it helps you to sit down and do the thing. But most of the time, your mind is just stuck in a loop. So what you need to do then, and this is especially good when you're lying down in your bed and your mind just keeps running away of all the things you need to do that are work related, is to just stop what you're thinking, like stop your brain of these thoughts, and make the active decision. Will you do something about it, or are you going to stop thinking about it? Because sometimes it's better to do something about it, like writing that task down. Working for 30 minutes just to get that thing away from you and stop feeling stressed about it. But sometimes either you can't do it or you don't feel like doing it, and you just walk around with a bad conscience about not doing it. And that is what needs to stop. So the same thing when you're lying in your bed and your thoughts keep running. Will you get up and do something about it? Well, probably not, because you're in your bed and you're going to sleep. Well, then what's the point in thinking about it? You can solve it tomorrow. At the simplest step, like sit up, time block your day in your phone's calendar, and then just go to bed and not think about it. Because no matter how much you think about it, nothing is gonna change until you actually do something about it. So when you're in your bed, you're not going to get up to work, so nothing's gonna change, and there's no point in you lying there thinking about it until you get up at work tomorrow. So you need to decide for yourself, will I do something about it, or should I let it go? So doing this will break that pattern of just going around and thinking about work, especially when you're not going to do anything about it. If you want some tips about how to stop feeling like a failure at work, you should probably watch this video next. And here's a little secret: you're not a failure. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.